Grizzlies fans, welcome back to a back-to-back. Grizzlies lost to the Denver Nuggets last night, but they are in LA now, taking on the Los Angeles Clippers. Joining me to talk about tonight's game, which doesn't tip off till 9:30 p.m. Central Time, is Law Murphy. You watched
Murray,
yesterday's
Murray,
game.
Murray,
Murray,
Murray.
Law Murray. I even have Law Murray. Murphy's Law. You watched last game against the Denver Nuggets.
I did.
What'd
I
you think?
saw, first of all, I was distracted by what was going on in Boston. I was like, is this really happening? So, I'm watching two games at once. I don't like to do that. But I mean, I wanted, as far as I'm concerned, that was history over there in
Everyone's
Boston.
rooting for the Detroit Pistons to end that streak.
I mean, that should have been the game. Like that should have been the game. They hadn't played an overtime game all year. They were up 21 at half. But alas, once that game was over, I was totally locked into the game in Denver. And let's just say that that did not go into overtime. That did not get close. It felt like it was close at the beginning. Like I felt like the Grizzlies were doing okay, even though Jokic clearly established he was not interested in missing any shots. That walk off that Jokic had at the end of the first quarter, I'm like, okay, he didn't even want to shoot that. He was just like, you know what? I know Marcus Smart is right here. I'm just going to make this three. We're gonna take this first quarter lead. Like that was a competitive game in Denver until Jamal got going.
Mhm.
And the thing with Jamal Murray getting going is he is literally teammates with Nikola Jokic. So it's like you're game planning for Nikola, and all of a sudden, this dude Jamal is just cooking you, and you're down by damn near 20. So I thought that that was honestly, if you're going to lose on the front end of a back to back, that was the best case scenario for the Grizzlies. Like I don't know how healthy Ja Morant will be Friday night in LA. I do know that no one else on that Grizzlies team played even came close to 30 minutes.
Mhm.
So, hey, you didn't really show up, and you are going to be upset and motivated and more focused to come out and put a better effort together on the road second night of that back to back.
Yeah, that's the thing. So Ja didn't play. He had an illness yesterday, as did Santi Aldama. And so you're hoping that he rested yesterday and he plays against the Clippers today. And the Clippers haven't played since Tuesday. They don't have another game until Monday. It's their last game of 2023. So they're going to want to kind of end the year on a good note as well. Um, Plus, last time these two teams played, the Grizzlies won 105-101. Desmond had 27. Paul George had 26. What are your expectations for tonight? What do you think the Clippers look like in their last game of the year?
I think that they need to be serious about what they're trying to do to close this month. This has been a great month for them to win 10 games when they had six straight losses in November to begin that month. Uh, the fifth of those consecutive losses coming in that matinee game with the Grizzlies. I just feel like they have done a great job most of this month. The last couple weeks have been uneven, especially on the defensive end for the Clippers. And you're getting a Grizzlies team that, even with Ja, like these dudes are not known for shooting the ball at a high level. And so you know what the Grizzlies are trying to do. They're trying to get to the paint as much as possible. When Ja is playing, that dude is about getting to the rim, getting downhill, uh, like as fast as possible. And his downhill obviously makes the game easier for his teammates. They haven't lost with him on the floor, and obviously they're what 6-20 when Ja doesn't play this season. That is a legitimate 6-20. Like they're an offensively challenged basketball team, and you saw it in Denver Thursday night. Like Denver didn't have Aaron Gordon, the key defender, and there's no real threat outside of Desmond. Desmond has been having a fantastic season. Desmond's the only dude on that team that Taylor Jenkins even allows to shoot in between the paint and the 3-point line. I think that unlocks a lot of his game. But at the same time, I feel like the Grizzlies are an easy team or a simple team to defend. I don't want to say easy, but you know what they're trying to do. They're trying to take as many threes as possible, trying to get downhill and trying to be as physical as they can, even though they lack the players that they used to be dominant with their physical style with. Ja obviously missing most of the year. Steven Adams out for this season, and we all know um, they miss him. That's why Bismack Biyombo starts. Like they need someone to approximate the physical qualities on the interior that Steven does. So I just expect if the Clippers are serious about ending this year on the good note, they know what the Grizzlies are trying to do. They know that the Grizzlies came in after getting embarrassed, not even embarrassed, like Taylor Jenkins went off on the referees the night before or the post game before they showed up to LA to play that matinee game. And the Grizzlies responded accordingly. And that response, how the Grizzlies started that game, how they finished the game, how they started that second half, made all the difference in a 4-point win, all the difference. And so both teams are going to should have the appropriate level of respect for each other going into Friday night.
Yeah, and urgency, like getting back on the winning track, ending the month for the Clippers. Talk to me about the Clippers a little bit right now because they are averaging 116 points per game, shooting 48.5%, which is a very high clip, but it doesn't look like they take a ton of threes. It doesn't look like they get a ton in fast break. They're like middle of the pack in points in the paint, middle of the pack in second chance points. They're fourth in the West though, so something's clicking. What is working for them? Where do they score?
I bet you those are season total numbers. And
Mhm.
this has just been a very like this season has been extreme. October was a completely different roster.
Okay.
Okay. November, it took them 17 days to win a game. And this month, it took them, they began the month on a 9-game win streak. So it's been, what team is this? To why are we so bad? To we are peaking. And I think that the thing that is important for the Clippers is offensively, they are, especially when Kawhi plays, which he hasn't for a week. So I wonder if he'll be ready for Friday night.
Mhm.
Those dudes have figured out how to play together. James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, they have figured out how to play together. They understand James is going to run the pick and rolls and be the primary ball handler. Paul is going to ISO when he gets a chance, and Paul can make shots from anywhere. And then Kawhi is a deliberate and efficient scorer. He's not running as many pick and rolls as James Harden. He's not isolating as much as Paul George, but where you can get Kawhi on the floor and get him to be in effective spots is devastating when he's on. And he was not on when the Grizzlies saw him in November that Sunday
And James
morning.
Harden hadn't clicked yet. It was
James hadn't clicked. Russell Westbrook was still starting at point guard, which not that Russell was playing poorly. I think Russ had a very strong start to the season, but Russell and James sharing that point guard role for the majority of a game just threw everybody off. The touches were not being just things weren't being delegated appropriately. Now they are. And that's what's made the Clippers offense so much more efficient. Like the turnovers are down. Everyone understands where they're attacking. The stars are leading the shooting on this team. This is the rare team where most times you think of shooting and you think of all the role players who they get their catch and shoots and they're comfortable hitting those. This is a team where their stars are their best shooters. The only role player hitting threes at an appropriate level and an appropriate volume is Norman Powell, which when Norman Powell checks into the game, the Clippers are lethal offensively. Ivica Zubac has developed a really strong chemistry with James Harden, where teams will blitz James just like they blitz Paul and Kawhi, and you got Zoo playing 4-on-3 on the backside. That is going to be especially pertinent against a Grizzlies team that is very aggressive defensively. They rely heavily on forcing turnovers. So if you're going to be trying to force turnovers and this Clippers team now understands how to protect the basketball, I think that if it's a Zubats or whoever they put in that short role, playing that is going to be critical to certain elements of situational basketball Friday night.
Yeah. All right. Like I said, it is a late night tonight, 9:30 p.m. Central Time. La Murray, thank you for your breakdown today. I'm so excited. I'm excited. I always love when we get to break it down. We didn't get to earlier in the year. We got to today. I appreciate
I
you.
was literally on a plane when that game started.
You were, yes. That was a tough
That
one.
was a nightmare of a weekend.
Yes. Yes, I remember that well. La, thank you. Don't be on a plane tonight. Be in the arena. Cheer for the Grizz. And let's get this one.